To become the greatest in any sport, you have to be the best and also beat the best. So it's not that hard to figure out who the greatest ones actually are, because they win so much that the only real story is if they fail to win. In this generation, Usain Bolt is clearly the greatest sprinter, and most people would give him the crown for the greatest of all time. He was so much better than anyone in history, and won his races by such a wide margin that it's almost absurd to compare any sprinter to him. And trust me, I've tried, and no matter which way you play with the numbers, it is a waste of time, so I am not going to do that. So the only way I could find a worthy opponent for Usain Bolt, I had to leave the sport entirely. And I'm aware LeBron James is still caught up in his own GOAT debate. You've heard it before, LeBron James versus Michael Jordan. And for the record, I'm on Team Jordan, but that's another debate for another YouTube channel. The fact that LeBron James holds his own in that conversation means that he should be good enough to give Bolt a run for his money. So this video is something different because I love track and field, but for a long time, before I ever realized I was never going to grow to 6'6", I loved basketball even more, and I actually wasn't that bad at it. It was only when my only college basketball offers were outside of Division I that I chose to leave the sport behind entirely. So I would like to believe that I'm qualified to at least enter the conversation, comparing two men who were head and shoulders above everybody else in their sport during this entire generation. So this is a breakdown of Usain Lightning Bolt versus LeBron the King James to determine who is really the better athlete. I know LeBron is still playing and Bolt has already retired, but all that means is I can remake this video when he actually hangs up his sneakers for good. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comments section because I try to read them all. And tell me if you want more videos like this, because I've got a few more in my back pocket. First things first, I have to go over a few ground rules for how this battle for the GOAT crown will go down. I'm comparing two great athletes, so I had to come up with a system to evaluate the greatest achievements an athlete can have in track and field and in basketball, and then make them equal to each other. After that, you tally up who has more in each category until we declare a winner. There are 5 categories in total, so I'm gonna break each of them down. Usain versus LeBron until we have a champion. The first category is obvious, championships. But let me be very clear, I had to make everything equal. The hardest thing to do in track and field is to win an individual Olympic gold medal. You only get a shot at it once every 4 years. But Bolt was so good in 2 events, he would earn himself 2 shots. And the hardest thing to do in the NBA is to win an NBA championship. Even harder than becoming the MVP. That is why Russell Westbrook, Steve Nash, and even Allen Iverson are not invited to the GOAT debate. They have MVP awards, but no NBA titles to go with it. We're only going to compare Usain Bolt's individual Olympic gold medal count to LeBron's NBA championships. I totally understand that basketball is a team sport, so LeBron technically had help to win those. But he also has to play an 82-game season and go through 4 rounds of the playoffs. That's just about as hard as training for 4 years and then qualifying out of Jamaica to run preliminary rounds all the way to winning a gold medal in one event. And you do that all by yourself. Usain Bolt went undefeated in 3 straight Olympics. That's 6 gold medals in the 100 and the 200 meter dashes. That's more than any sprinter in history can ever say. But LeBron does have 4 NBA championships. He's actually made the finals a whole bunch of times. But like I said, he only won 4 of them. And it's safe to say that even if he keeps playing a little bit longer, he's probably not winning 3 NBA titles. So you gotta give this category to Usain Bolt. But category 2 is totally different. And I'm even giving Usain Bolt a handicap to make it a bit more interesting. It's Usain Bolt World Championship gold medals against LeBron's NBA MVP awards. But we're only going to give Bolt a point if he wins all 3 gold medals for the 100, 200, and 4x1 for that year. LeBron has 4 NBA MVP awards, which is voted on by the media, and that is a whole lot, because only Michael Jordan has won more of them since 1980. Bolt won a lot at the World Championships, but the truth is, he only completed the triple 3 times. That was 2009, 2013, and 2015. So you can argue with me about it in the comments if you want to. But I'm giving this category to LeBron James because he deserves to win something too. Category 3 is a wild card because we're comparing every single time Usain Bolt finished the year as the world's fastest man to LeBron James' attempts to lead the NBA in player efficiency rating. Running the world leading time is a big deal, which is why the IAAF keeps the stats on it for every season. And you could argue that player efficiency rating, PER in the NBA, is a controversial stat. But here is why that is a cop-out. Because the 3 NBA players who have led the league in PER more than anyone else are Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan, and LeBron James. So as far as I'm concerned, that stat actually works. Last time I checked, they were the best players. I'm still going to handicap Bolt on this one, where if he leads the world in the 100 and the 200, he gets a full point. But if he only does it in 1 for that year, he gets 2/3 of a point. LeBron led the league in PER 6 times. Jordan actually did it 7 times, but that's besides the point. However, Bolt led the world in both events 4 times, and only in one event 3 times. Considering the handicap, that adds up to 6 points in total. So this category is a tie. So it's neck and neck with 2 categories left. You can place your bets in the comment section below. Category 4 is Olympic team gold medal performances, and I had to make this one fair as well. Basketball is 5-on-5, and the 4x1 is 4-on-4. So that's about close enough. The truth is that LeBron showed up to the Olympics 3 times in a row. He got a bronze medal the first time, and then won gold in 2008, and again in 2012. He only gets 2 points because the golds are all that count. And what makes this more interesting is Bolt won the relay in 2008, but that team was disqualified for reasons that don't really have much to do with him. So the only gold medals that stand are 2012 and 2016. That's 2 gold medals for each of them. So we're all tied up with 1 category to go. So the final category is the most intriguing to me because it's the one that's the hardest to evaluate. Usain Bolt is special, not just because he won, but because he won big. So big, in fact, he broke world records. So the comparison is Usain Bolt's world records to any significant individual records that LeBron James has broken. Bolt still has 3 records in the 100, 200, and 4x1. So how many does LeBron actually have? He's the NBA's all-time scoring leader for the most points. That is a record that you have to count. But that also means I have to discount any other directly scoring related records as a result. LeBron does, however, have more NBA All-First Team selections than anyone else in history. That is a record I would count as well. So depending on how you look at it, if you count Bolt's 4x1, then he wins this category. But if you call that a team accomplishment, you gotta take it off. I'm gonna leave it to the individual stuff to keep it fair, so you can call this category a tie, which brings us to the verdict. Because if you haven't figured it out by now, the battle for the title of the GOAT of this generation of sport is a draw between LeBron James and Usain Bolt. They're both so good at what they do for the era they competed in that you can't even separate them when you face them off against each other. Interestingly enough, Usain is slightly younger than LeBron, but that's only because sprinters retire earlier, on average, than high-level NBA players. Their first Olympics was both in 2004, even though nobody really noticed that Usain was there. They were incredibly hyped as high school-aged athletes. Usain Bolt broke the world junior record in the 200-meter dash before that 2004 Olympics. And we already know that LeBron was the chosen one. I'm sure you have your opinions and you can let me know what they are. But I have to be clear that we owe both of these men the credit that they deserve. Greatness like this only comes around once in a generation for any sport. Track and field is already coping with the loss of Bolt. And let me tell you, it ain't been easy watching people run 9-8 after Bolt's lightning strikes. And soon, whether we like it or not, LeBron will be gone as well. And basketball is gonna miss him more than we know right now. The same way they missed Jordan until LeBron came along. At least this time, he's likely leaving LeBron James Jr. behind to keep us all company. And there is no next Usain in sight. Not in name or in talent, no matter which way you spin it. And that is the only real difference between these two great athletes. SCA track and field gear is here. Fast is a lifestyle, and what you wear should reflect that. Order yours at scarecruiting.com/shop or click the link in the description below. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it's always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.